This is Brett Price, KCR Radio. I'm here with two of the guys from Motion City Soundtrack. Want to introduce yourselves? What instrument you play?
I'm Matt, and I play the bass.
And I'm Tony, and I play drums.
Alright, so today's the first day of the new tour. How do you guys prepare for a tour and get excited about getting out on the road again?
Well, we've had a pretty good chunk of time off this year, so sometimes for me getting excited just happens from being at home and being kind of bored, kind of itching to get out. You have a lot of time to think about ideas and things you can do. So we did a lot of planning this time around, and we just kind of decided we wanted to do some different stuff, play some songs we've never played, just mix it up every night, you know, keep it interesting.
So how long have you guys been like off and on? So you had like the Warped Tour, you had Reading and Leeds Festival. You've been you got this tour, and then you got one coming up in Brazil. Like, and how do you guys like? It's a lot of like coming and going. How do you guys like handle that with families and all that?
It's just kind of normal now. I mean, we've been doing this pretty heavily for almost 9 years now, I guess. And it's always I don't know. You find like the right balance. It's always a little difficult being away from your family and friends and girlfriends or whatever. But but you just it's just kind of the way it is, and you just kind of have to figure out how to make it work. And
I guess your job, so you just gotta just go with it. Do you guys have like a favorite or least favorite part about when you go on tour? Just playing for the fans, or what is it that makes you like it so much?
I mean, the shows are definitely the strong point, I think. It's just cool to be able to travel, and when you hit cities as many times as we have, you know what to look for. Like if you go to a restaurant or a bar,
you've been there before,
you
so
can
you're
go back.
familiar.
And you make friends in different cities. It's always cool to be able to go back and visit people that you meet along the way.
What about you? Do you have a favorite, least favorite part about touring?
Kind of the same thing. The playing the show is always kind of the highlight of the day, and then just like the people like this tour. I think we're all really excited about because the bands are really good, and we've known most of these guys for a while as well. I feel like this is like the most amount of people that we knew already going into a tour probably that we've ever been on.
So I was reading about it. Like you've been really wanting to go Say Anything for like a few years
Yeah,
now.
they kind of been discussed for a couple of years, I think, of doing some sort of like co-headlining something, and it just never really worked out. And now here we are, first name.
So you guys have done the festivals. You get in like the small venues. What do you guys prefer? Do you like a lot of people, or do you like having a more intimate feeling with it?
For me, it's either. I mean, it just depends on the situation. Sometimes if you get on a tour with a huge band, it's really fun to go play for a huge crowd because it's kind of surreal. But I think I prefer playing like a really intimate club where the people are right there with you.
Yeah, there's just some kind of like energy or something that seems to happen at those small shows like that. It seems like everyone is just more excited. I don't know if that's really true, but it just feels that way.
Yeah, I think people feed off of each other. We get the crowd, hopefully vice versa.
So you guys are pretty stoked about this tour. Then a lot of smaller venues right here.
Yeah.
How many people do you say every night?
No idea.
No clue.
Between 7 and 8, I think, every night. 7 or 8 people.
Pretty good number right there.
Somewhere between 7 and 8. It's 7 point something.
Well, there may be some small children. They don't really count.
You guys are all on Twitter a lot. I'm like a really big fan of this. Do you feel like it's a good way to interact with your fans that way, being able to tweet back and forth and see what they have to say to you?
Definitely. I think I'll be the first to admit I'm a little obsessed with Twitter. I think it's awesome. Like it's fun. It's a great way to get information and talk to people. It's like very easy that you can talk to them. Like I've got to meet people that I've looked up to through connections that were made through Twitter, and it has actually still been happening. It's just, I don't know. It's a really cool thing that that technology didn't exist when I was the age of a lot of the people coming to our shows, and I don't know. It's awesome. It's a very useful thing.
Yeah, I feel so. What about you? Like, same kind of feeling with it?
Yeah, I think it's great. I like the simplicity of it. It's like you're going to get on and you're going to say something. You only have this amount of characters to say it.
Just get your point across real quick.
Yeah, just post a link to something that you know, so you want people to see. I like the simplicity of it.
Yeah.
I am pretty bad about staying on it regularly and like staying up to it, but
Unless you're in an airport.
unless I'm in an airport.
He's in an airport. That's all he does.
Yeah. When I'm alone, I get bored.
Have you guys? You came out with your new CD in January. Were you guys writing any new material, or?
We have a lot of ideas. Whether it's just us individually, I know Justin has been recording into his iPhone, just acoustic demos, just bass and guitar.
Kinda cool.
So he was saying he had somewhere around 70 ideas going already. So we're very inspired and ready to start recording, just getting ideas down, But
Yeah,
I
we
think we'll be
haven't,
making some demos on this tour.
Yeah, we haven't formally worked on anything. Lots of ideas, like you said, but we haven't come together and each put our own.
You
Layer
record
on
like
it.
right here on the bus, or
Sometimes, yeah.
you guys have like a recording? You guys just in here doing it? Or?
Just laptops make things very easy these days.
That's kind of awesome. What's the writing process for you guys for like a song? How do you sit down and make a song into a song?
It'll start with somebody who has an idea, like a guitar part or whatever, and then we'll build it from there in a room together, usually. Or sometimes we'll just already be in a room together, the intent of writing something, and somebody will start playing, somebody will join in, and then we'll all.
Yeah, we don't
So
really
how we
have
structure a song.
process. It really depends on the song. Some songs start one, yeah. It's really just like whatever happens, happens. Like there's no real like this is how we're gonna do it.
Makes it a little more random and fun than you guys have been around since some of the original members since '97. Like, how does it feel to be? It's like 13 years now. How does it feel to be like been around and been in the spotlight for so long? And you guys, people like you for so long. It's got to be cool as a band.
I don't think we can complain too much. We were actually just talking last night about how long this has been going on. It's just weird. Like it doesn't feel like it's been that long. And we were actually looking through old pictures last night, laughing at how it doesn't seem like it's been that long ago. And we feel like we all look the same. And then we go back and see pictures and say, "Wow, you look 12 in that." But yeah, I mean, this is what we want to be doing, and we've gotten to be able to do this, and this is how we make our living, and we're all very thankful for that.
Yeah, we're very fortunate because a lot of bands that start now, I think it's really hard, even though the technology, the internet and all that helps get your music out there, but there's also a billion other bands doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And, with the economy not the way it is, it's really hard to afford to just go on tour. So we see a lot of our friends who are really young, or they're having to just call it quits because they can't afford to do it.
It's kind of a bummer.
It is a bummer. We were fortunate enough to be right at, when we were starting to put out records, people were still buying CDs and vinyl. And that was right as people were starting to post music online when we got signed. So we fortunately were able to build a fan base and those people still come to see us, which is great.
So with like the CDs and vinyl, do you guys big fan of like iTunes, or do you think it's a good way for?
I'm a fan of both. I love iTunes. I think it's genius. I love being able to get something the second I want it.
Yeah.
The instant gratification is amazing, but I also really, really like physical copies.
Yeah. It's always good to have a CD.
Yeah.
You like.
Well, and vinyl now is including digital downloads and sometimes actual CDs in with the vinyl. So I think that's awesome too to have, both. Because obviously I'm gonna have my iPod. I want my iPod to have everything on it too. I want to go home and get on the record.
Yeah. So, like, you guys have been around so long. How much longer do you think you continue doing music? As long as you can, really, or just?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we were necessarily, we've not everything we've ever talked about. There's no end in sight. It's just kind of let's just keep doing this. It's what we want to do, and whatever happens, happens. And
Just go with the flow with it, huh?
When it's time to be done, we'll be done, I guess.
Yeah, I think we'll know when it's done.
You guys came off I think this was your last record was your best record, right? Or I thought I read it. You guys thought that.
Well, I think people always think their newest stuff is the best because it's exciting. But
I
I'm
think
proud of it.
I think it's been our best reviewed record,
Yeah.
at least. I think we can say that without sounding weird.
Last question here. What's your guys' favorite song to play live?
Well, it goes through phases. I'm gonna go ahead and be bold, and it's actually a song we have. I think are gonna play for the first time tonight. I'm a big fan of the song Hysteria on our new record. I've been dying to play it live, and we haven't. And tonight we're going to, so I'm
Good to hear it for the first time. Then.
And
What about you? Favorite?
Actually, it's another song we're playing for the first time tonight called The Weekends. Just playing it. Yeah, obviously we haven't played it live, but
Yeah.
rehearsing it's fun, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming it'll be a good time.
Good to hear the first material.
Yeah.
All I really got here, so KCR Radio, thanks for the guys Mo City Soundtrack stopping by, doing an interview. Thanks a bunch, yeah.